So in some respects, COVID did us a small favour in respect to it. It pushed our online presence, meant we had to do something very, very different and pivot to respond to that requirement of hybrid working. We also lost a member of staff during COVID, which was very, very sad, and a number of other colleagues retired. So we've seen a 25% reduction in workforce, and now we're getting back to levels of pre-COVID business. The challenge for me was how we can manage getting back to that pre-COVID level of work coming through without throwing people at it. So that's where we started to invest in a fully connected end-to-end workflow. So we had to specify a range of finishing equipment that allows us to get very, very short runs out at a very, very fast pace, but we can be doing hundreds of orders of low run every day. So that flexibility was key. What was interesting was the innovation that Duplo have put into the product. So we've taken a DC648, which has revolutionised our print finishing, but we changed our decision from a standard booklet maker to an iSaddle, which was a big decision and a bit of a risk. But the innovation in that machine allows different formats, different sizes, so A4 landscape booklets, square booklets, waterfall booklets, and it's barcode driven. It's really easy to set up and it's really, really fast. So that sort of throughput from the Duplo devices was also key. It's really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it's just made it a lot easier now. We've got all these barcode systems and stuff like that, so the jobs set up themselves really on the machines. You could just fill it up and press go, and the job would come out of the other side. The saddle stitcher has been brilliant because when you do a booklet, it looks professional, it looks good. It's normally always correct as well, it feeds well, you know. It does make you proud when you finish a job. You can feel a bit of pride where before we were tearing our hair out, jobs that didn't look right, and now we've also got a perfect binder which looks unbelievable, really good. So yeah, it's made everything much simpler. You can get jobs done quicker, and once you finish it, you feel proud of it at the end of the day. When you go home, you can feel good about yourself.
Before we installed the Duplo equipment, we realised that we had a bottleneck in finishing. So the printing was fine, but we regularly found that we had no dedicated finishing guys because they'd retired in COVID. So the choice that we took was to actually invest in highly automated technology. So the DC648 is the cutter and the creaser. So we can literally one sheet to thousands of sheets. We can just stack it up, press a button and walk away and let it run, which then frees up my production team to be doing other activities. That's great. The saddle stitcher, the iSaddle again. Prior we had online booklet making, which is great, but if you've got longer run booklets, it can tend to slow production down. And we have 4 devices, and I didn't want to have 4 booklet makers on each device. So that allows the print engines to run at speed, at rated speed, and the print finishing or the saddle stitching being done offline. And a case in point is we did an annual job, which prior to the Duplo equipment took 2 or 3 days on the booklet maker that was in line. On the iSaddle, it was done in a morning. So that's the sort of efficiency improvements that we were looking to make. And the iSaddle has done a really good job with that. The cutter is a bit of a long-term speculative move to allow us to move into new areas and produce more creative work. So even a humble table card. At the university we do lots of events, lots of conferences, and we're often required to just do a name card for a table. We did an event recently where we did a really, really nice die cut one, which was a tent card and a fold and a crease, and very, very It was quite an exquisite piece, actually. It was one of the first jobs that Lee did, and he did a really good job. The reaction that got, not only from our internal customers, but the delegates, has proven that is potentially a really good investment for us to make our print stand out. So much so the delegates were actually posting it on their Instagram accounts and LinkedIn profiles, going, look at this name card, it's fantastic. So, and it's that type of innovation that we're looking to get with the finishing.
Now we've had like top management come down to see some of the stuff that we've done. We made the head of FD a nice box with seeds in it and a butterfly in the front of it, you know, cut out on the B2 cutter. She loved it and she's talking big about us now.
The key to the automation is the software that drives the Duplo and the integration into our imposition piece. We've got a piece of software called Ultimate Impostrip, which allows us to generate a barcode, which then goes onto the printed piece. And then we just load it into the DC648 and it just dynamically reads that barcode and adjusts itself to suit. So again, minimal error, minimal waste, maximum efficiency, and the speed of turnaround is phenomenal now. And likewise, we can create an imposition on the DC648 and import it back into Ultimate. So we've got that two-way communication going on. So it doesn't really matter. If it's a one-off job, then the Ultimate software can drive the Duplo, but if we're doing a regular job and we put a template on the Duplo, we can push that XML data back to Ultimate and create an imposition specifically. And it works really well. It's really, really easy to use and super effective. The support we've had from Duplo has been great from the start. They've supported us as coming from a print unit that didn't have what I would call proper finishing equipment, to go into a department that really has got class leading stuff. They've been really supportive. We told them that training was going to be key. Lee is a trained print finisher, but that was years ago and has missed a huge amount of knowledge. And now he's getting back into it. He's regularly talking to the guys at Duplo, always on with the engineers. How do I do this? How do I do that? Duplo put in some great training packages and they've been fantastic. Anything that we want, we'll just get them sorted. We'll help. Great job.
I won't even say spending time making the job right, because the job is right. So it takes that out of it. I suppose at first it felt like it was taking a skill away from you. You know, you trained for years on machines and learned how to get around problems. But now the problem's been solved for you before you've even started.
Embellishment has got to be a key area that we don't lose sight of. Whilst at the moment within the university as we stand today, there's not a great deal of call for production level embellishment. So we do have some foiling ability and some entry level type of print finishing and that type of thing. To go the next level would be a big investment for us, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. We're talking with our faculty colleagues in the School of Design on whether there's any overlap, so that it might not be a purely financial purchase to put production level embellishment in. It would be to enhance that design course and teaching the kids, this is what we can now do with print. We can do variable spot varnish, or we can do variable foil, or we can do haptic effects, which have got the nice 3D things going on. So that's an area of interest, and potentially where we'd like to see the unit go, that integration more with academia, as well as being a standalone commercial print unit is really key for me.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get cracking and, you know, do stuff we've never done before and also learn more. And yeah, I think we've got an exciting future.